Hey everyone, and welcome back to Easily Twisted Media. Today, we are once again going to take a look at one of my favorite bands' new music videos and songs. Now, Sabaton is doing a great job this year, like really kicking it. I first discovered them in 2014, and now they like really knocking it out in 2019 with their new Great War album. They have had a lot of good hits, and they're starting to reach a bigger audience, which is awesome because they do a fantastic job of bringing history back to life. And as always, when I do a reaction, I want to talk a little bit about the history, and I usually try to bring some information in that people don't know. So World War I's been talked about a lot, especially the beginning of World War I and what caused it. Now, normally people talk about the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand as if it was the beginning of everything and nothing else was going on. That wasn't really true. Remember, he was the heir to the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, which at the time was expanding further and further south. And they had recently annexed Bosnia, specifically in 1908. And there had been a lot of wars and fighting going on between Serbia, Greece, and Bulgaria against the Turks, which is what I'm going to talk about now. So the Balkan region had been in two wars in 1912 and 1913, and they were called the First and Second Balkan Wars. In 1912, three countries, the ones I mentioned before, joined together to push the Turks out of Europe and back down into Turkey. These three countries were Serbia, Bulgaria, and Greece. However, despite the three working together, Bulgaria actually was the one that gained the most land taken back from the Turks, and infighting soon followed when the three powers started to fight over who was going to get the remaining amounts of land. And this led to the Second Balkan War in 1913. Which led to the defeat of Bulgaria, and actually Serbia became the new strong power as they took most of the land. However, this allowed them to be emboldened and desiring more power, so Serbia actually sought to expand its control all over all the Serbs in the region, which also included Bosnia that had been annexed by the Austrian-Hungarian Empire in 1908. Now, despite the fact that Serbia was looking to gain more land and stretch out, Austrian-Hungarian Empire had also been expanding and dominating the area. Like we said, they annexed Bosnia in 1908, and they continued to expand, and they continued to influence politics in both Serbia, Bulgaria, and the whole surrounding area in order to try to get rid of the Serbian government because they wanted to control more and more land. They're an empire. They wanted to expand. So let's continue. So who was it that actually took out Archduke Franz Ferdinand? A Serbian nationalist by the name of Gavrilo Princip to assassinate Archduke Ferdinand and his wife in an attempt to cause instability and end Austrian-Hungarian rule over Bosnia and Herzegovina. However, this assassination was not the real cause of World War I, but was instead used as an excuse by Austria-Hungary to declare war on the Serbian government to expand their control. Now, they had allies in Germany, the Ottoman Empire, and Italy, who also saw the potential to expand their control in the region by defeating Serbia's allies and thus take further control of the Mediterranean, Middle East, and Europe. So as World War I was starting to pick up and people started to lay down and start backing up their allies, it was Germany, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire, which were the central powers against Serbia, Great Britain, France, Russia, Italy, Romania, Japan, and the United States as the allied power. What a mess. Remember, a lot of them had different alliances that they're building up, and a lot of people were, kind of pushing for control. But let's not forget that although Archduke Ferdinand was part of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire and was assassinated by a Serbian nationalist, it was really their allies that completely allowed the whole pushing into war, because the Austrian-Hungarian Empire did not want to actually declare war on Serbia until Germany gave them the thumbs up. And then Serbia, worrying and fearing for their lives, said, hey, Russia, come help us, which dragged everybody into a war. Remember, these are two, I would say, fairly small countries that dragged the entire world into it. So the whole idea that this all got started because one man got assassinated, it was a bit like a weird crisscross alliance treaties, has some truth to it. But honestly, it was also because these different allies wanted to control the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and even more of Europe and have influence over their competitors. So, enough of that. Let's take a look at what Sabaton has done with this song, and let's prepare to feast our ears for their awesomeness. Now, while I get these in, I want to say, I've seen them build up like a chorus of what looks like World War I soldiers in the background. I have not heard them sing, so I'm really curious to see what they do. Ready? Let's do this. Well, that was quickly answered.
eyes, I'm paralyzed, my brother's eyes are gone, and he shall be buried here, nameless marks his grave. Mother home, get a telegram and shed a tear of grief. Mud and blood in foreign land, trying to understand. Well, is this greatness all been told? This is the lies that we've been sold. Is this a worthy sacrifice? Great war, and we're gonna take more. Great war, I keep on marching on. I play the great score. There will be no encore. Great war, the war to end all wars. I'm standing here, I'm full of fear, with bodies at my feet. Over there in the other trench, bullets wear my name. Lead ahead, as the captain said, and show them no remorse. Who am I to understand? What have I become? I do my duties, pay the price. I do the worthy sacrifice. I know my deeds are not in vain. Great war, and we're gonna take more. Great war, I keep on marching on. I play the great score. There will be no encore. Great war, the war to end all wars. And feet by feet will be the place of a mile here. Though men are falling, we see heroes rise. We face the heat as we are fighting until the dawn. So follow me and we will write our own history.
Nice. That was a pretty that was an epic chorus. I was really like, oh, great war. Sound like it said great tour. I'm not sure. Definitely they mentioned the war to end all wars. Now I saw them. While this was obviously like one heck of an awesome concert that I would have loved to have been to. So they were out there with the little Czechoslovakian flags and the American flags, and they had like a little parade going on, and it looks like it was from the city of Pilsen in Czechoslovakia. It looks like it was May 4th, 2019, and they had like a little awesome parade going on. I saw like armored cars going by. I believe I saw a Sherman tank really quick there too, and they're on like the little balcony waving their flag. So that was really awesome, and that concert looked really, really epic. So that was cool. Now, this was a good song, had a great chorus. It was metal, but it wasn't as like hard and deep as the Bismarck was, but it was still really awesome, and I do think it does great justice to World War I and just kind of talking about it like the war to end all wars, which ironically, as I was mentioning, it was World War I seemed to be more like giant powers trying to gain influence in a part of like southeastern Europe and anything else really. Like the Serbian nationalists got the blame for it, but let's just be honest. So after the Central Powers lost, obviously, against the Allies, Germany unfortunately got a lot of the blame. Now, yes, they were fighting, but it was a war. And all the Allied powers got together and put together it was the Paris Peace Conference in 1919, and they decided that Germany was going to basically pay for the price of the entire war. Now, yes, millions of people died. It was a huge catastrophe and a horrible war, but they set themselves up for future failure. And I'm going to go over that in a minute. Now, they made the Germans sign the Treaty of Versailles, which has been covered in old Sabaton songs as well. And as most people know, at least who's vaguely familiar with history, Treaty of Versailles basically kind of like forced Germany to not only pay for everything, but also like cut back on its military, kind of like kept it out of a lot of alliances with Europe and isolated them and degraded them to such a degree that it wasn't very well received, obviously. Now, typically what they do is decide to crush Germany by forcing them to sign a Treaty of Versailles that hurt them with political handicaps as being denied entrance into the League of Nations and ruining their economy with heavy reparations. Now, some hopeful participants have even begun calling World War I that war to end all wars, but again, it's no, they didn't. They overburdened Germany with so many reparations, and then loans started going to crap with Germany, and they were running out of money. Their economy was going into crap. Their national pride was wounded and hurt, and a lot of people were really, really angry at the Allied forces for their treatment and like the political handicap of Germany with the other nations. So, not surprisingly, someone took advantage of that situation, and that certain individual led to the powerful rise of the Nazi regime in World War II. So, even though the Allies won the war, in reality, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot too and helped Hitler on his rise to power, which eventually I'll cover in another reaction video a long time from now. But this one, great song. It was really cool seeing their concert, and also, like I said, the Liberation Festival in Pilsen in Czechoslovakia. It was kind of cool seeing that they still celebrate those kind of things, especially World War II. I mean, that's freaking awesome. So let's enjoy it again. Make sure to go to the Sabaton channel. Like it, subscribe to it, and keep watching that trailer over and over again. Rock on, my friends. I'll see you next time.